2K Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, is proud to bring you the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. We're at the Genesis Invitational. Today's coverage is just about to begin. I'm Luke Elvey alongside major champion Rich Beem in the booth, and it's wonderful to welcome in Henny Koyak, who's out on the course following our featured group.
Hi Luke, great to be here. As this event kicks off, our featured group consists of two players who appear to have entered into quite the rivalry.
So it looks like they're trying to beat Collin Morikawa this week. That's ambitious. Seems like a friendly duel from the outside, but could create some extra sparks today.
I almost just have to laugh. Someone saying they're going to beat Collin Morikawa. Does that even happen these days? He's one of the most consistent players on tour. I don't know that he's beatable.
Well, he's been accused of having a balky putter occasionally, but you're right. Iron play as good as Tiger Woods in his prime. The short game's irresistible, but I think the most impressive thing about young Collin is his mindset. He's got a 40-year-old mind on a 20-year-old body. No wonder he's winning at a decent rate of knots. Yeah, that one will play. Take it. We need this one to bounce right. That's right out of the copybooks. Exquisite. Okay, Henny, what's he looking at with this putt?
Setting up this putt 10 feet from the cup.
Oh, so close. A chance for a birdie if this goes down. Well, that's a nice way to start, writing a little red number down on the scorecard at the first.
And that should calm whatever nerves this player has. Nice opening hole.
Heading to the next hole, and this player is currently in a share of the lead with Tony Finau. We know that Riviera starts with a 5-4, but it may as well be a 4-5 because the par 4 second is tougher than the par 5 first.
I've never seen a golf course where you're so happy to start off birdie bogey. It's the strangest thing I've ever seen. The second hole, pretty straight away off the tee shot. The second shot moves a little bit for some space on the right-hand side hole.
Well, Rich, here's one of our proven performers in the FedEx Cup points race. They've been there or thereabouts for most of the season, and they go into this tournament as one of the strong favourites. It hardly seems a surprise, doesn't it?
Without a doubt, the best player all around on tour in my mind's eye. It is no shock to see them contending for the lead once again.
Choosing the 9-iron here. Yep, that shot safely on the green. 13 feet to the cup.
All right, guys, this for 2 birdies in a row.
And down it goes. Let's head to the next. And on the leaderboard, they currently sit second behind the talented Tony Finau. Oh, that is bombed. And Henny, what's he looking at here?
Setting up this shot from about 120.
Oh, terrific approach, and a chance for birdie here at the third. Now over to Collin Morikawa.
Who'd have thought we'd see this? He is behind his rival. Can he do the catching up that's necessary?
Oh, these are good for the momentum, these ones. Right on 8 feet. Just didn't drop. Putting for a par now. Well, it was a wonderful approach shot, wasn't it? But unfortunately having to settle for par.
Well, what could have been with that putt? Luke could have taken the lead. Not to be.
Going with the hybrid.
Uh-oh, this one leaking out to the right.
Yeah, nicely played. Now let's switch our focus to Collin Morikawa.
He's sitting there in the rankings at 4th. Starting to look really good.
Okay, time to return to the action. Trying to get to 2 under with this putt.
Little birdie look in here. Oh, that was such a good stroke.
And that will drop in for a birdie. And that will take him to 2 under. And this is quality play, still on top of the leaderboard. Few players in the history of the game have had a bigger impact so early in their career than Collin Morikawa, Rich. Some comparisons go as close to Tiger Woods.
As they should be currently right now with what he has done in the game so far in his young career. He's come out each and every week and put pressure on every single player because of his ball striking and because they know that there's no weaknesses in his game other than sometimes the putter. But when you hit it as good as he does, you're bound to make a putt now and again. And each and every week when he shows up, players on the driving range are looking at him going, okay, he's here. I got to have my A game.
Certainly feels like sky's the limit for Collin Morikawa.
2 major championships under his belt right now. Surely more in his future.
That's a high caliber shot. And Henny, what are they looking at here?
Careful not to leave this one short. It's back uphill and nothing worse than leaving an uphill putt short.
Pretty good chance here. This one's for par. That's annoying. You should make that. Well, that's providing some hope to the rest of the field as our leader stumbles with a bogey. They're a long way from the hole here. Work to be done.
This for a birdie run.
And after that effort, this is how the leaderboard looks. Let's head to the par 4 7th at the Riv. Again, it's a par 4 that requires placement of the tee.
The fairway bunker down the left-hand side comes in quicker than you can imagine, and so players want to try and hit it out towards the far right part of it. But again, you push it a little bit, and now the Barranca comes into play. If you find the fairway, happy days. This green is probably one of the most severe tilted from back to front. Players need to make sure their second shots land past this hole in order for it to come back down towards the hole. You will have a downhill putt, but it's better than coming up short.
Let's see if you can make this and keep the par on the card. Ooh. This putt's about 4 feet from the hole. And that putter's hold, and that means it's back-to-back bogeys, unfortunately.
You're making one bad mistake with another, compounding it, not good.
The par 4 8th at Riviera is a choose-your-own-adventure. Which fairway do you like to take?
I think most players are going to try and go down the left-hand side, as it seems to be the easier of the two these days. However, where they stick that flagstick, well, that's a different question. If they stick it up front right, the left-hand side of the fairway, that's not the easiest approach. So better be mindful of where that flagstick is in order to pick which side of the fairway you want to drive it down.
Handy effort, that one. And this putt to move into a share of first. Ooh, right by the hole. 8 feet to the cup. Well, that'll maintain the momentum. Nice par putt. Now over to Colin Morikawa.
He's 1 stroke in front of his rival so far today. Great stuff.
Trailing by a stroke after that hole. The final hole on the outward half is a par 4 playing back up towards the clubhouse, Rich. It's a good par 4.
Only the big hitters are going to be able to carry that fairway bunker down the left-hand side. Most players are going to try and avoid it and even miss it the fairway out to the right-hand side, which is not a bad miss. From there, the second shot is directly uphill. Deep, deep bunkers on the front right part of this. That is not the place to miss it. Anything that a little bit long will leave you a downhill putt, but that's the safe play.
Not a bad approach, that one. Not quite inside the birdie range, but you never know. Hole a long one. Still counts.
Already had a few birdies today. Another opportunity for another one. Let's take a look.
What's in front of them, Henny, with this putt?
This is downhill. Can't be too bold.
It was on a good line. Yeah, that looked to be a bit of a misread. Putting for par.
Yeah, nicely holed. Our leader is Colin Morikawa as we head to the next.
One of the most often discussed holes in all of golf is the par 4 10th here at Riviera Ridge. There's so much strategy.
It's either driver or 3-wood for every player in this field, but you better be good with distance because this green is very narrow.
Here we are, Rich, a wonderful opportunity on the table. The chance to go back-to-back. Just how big would that be?
Obviously massive, but I'm very impressed. They've put themselves in a position to win for the second week in a row. Impressive.
And this from the greenside rough.
Great touch. Really nicely played.
Love watching this player around the greens.
Our leader is a couple of shots up at this stage. The par 5 11th, one of the better scoring holes on the course. Players are thinking 4 when they stand on this tee.
It's just a long straightaway par 5, almost a runway, if you like. Both sides of this fairway flanked by huge eucalyptus trees, which frames this tee shot brilliantly. You find the fairway, second shot, once again, straightforward. You must avoid that bunker front right at all costs. That is deep and nasty. You're not going to enjoy being in there.
Getting ready to play their third.
He's 2 shots back.
This putt is about 15 feet to the hole.
He's staring down a birdie putt here.
Oh, he's up, Tiger. Just 6 feet between he and the hole. Okay, steady now. Bogey putt coming up here. Yeah, well holed. Let's move on to the next.
Now let's switch our focus to Colin Morikawa.
Oh, he's out in...
Oh, my. How about that for a par?
This tall player is just streets ahead now.
Colin Morikawa currently in the lead as we check the rest of the standings.
When you stand on the 12th tee, Rich, you're thinking to yourself, oh, a couple of strong back-to-back par 4s, and it starts right here.
This is where the golf course gets extremely difficult, Luke. This tee shot moves from left to right, but massive overhanging eucalyptus trees down the right-hand side prevents you from hitting a high draw over them. Once you're in the fairway, though, your second shot is to a green that's really not as big as it should be for such a long hole. And there's a famous tree just short and left of this green, Bogey's tree. Not because of the score, because Humphrey Bogart used to sit there and just watch everybody butcher this hole.
Looks to be going with the 6-iron. Needs this one to kick right. Let's see if we can get this one up and down for par.
That's a touch of class. Terrific little chip.
Just eyeballing that one, trying to make it.
Sitting at 1 over for the event. Rich, the 13th hole. Slightly different look off the tee.
It's really cool. This tee shot is framed by large eucalyptus trees, both right and left. Requires a draw. Nothing else to do. You have to move this golf ball from right to left off this tee. If you do it correctly, well, that golf ball could chase down there miles down this fairway. If you find the fairway down there, you're going to love the second shot. The difficulty gets when the pin is all the way back left in this little peninsula. You miss it a little bit left there, you're going to find the Barranca, and you're probably going to find a bogey or worse.
And that was a bit of a misfire.
And coming up well short.
And here we are with the third shot. Just a couple back from our leader. Oh, well played.
Judging it beautifully.
Well, that hole's behind us. More to play. He currently shares 4th position. The 14th, Rich, I know it's dear to your heart, the par 3. You made an ace there in tournament history, won a car. How do you tell the players to play it?
Hit a 7-iron, a high little draw 7-iron, and 2 hop it right in the hole, Luke. That's what I suggest. That makes it easy.
Yep, give yourself a pat on the back. Well, this will be a big putt to make. A birdie always nice, but particularly when it's a 2.
This putt to tie Colin Morikawa.
Didn't quite have the right stuff there. Well holed. Let's move on.
Now over to Colin Morikawa.
Coming off a bogey on the last hole.
Oh, what a touch of class. Holds it from the sand. And let's see what that shot did to the leaderboard. The leader now has a 1-stroke advantage. The 15th, Rich, a very good par 4. Although, if you're Victor Hovland, maybe the fairway's not in your line of sight.
It's a great par 4, and yet there's some players that have seen it a little bit differently lately. I always saw it as a dogleg from left to right, just avoid that fairway bunker down the right-hand side. And this is an interesting green. It's got a high spot on the left, and it's got a low middle section and a high section on the right-hand side, and you never have a flat putt. It is always breaking one direction or another, and it's either straight uphill or straight downhill. This is the most difficult green on the golf course by a long margin. If you see it differently, you can hit it down the right, down 17 fairway, but I fail to see how that's any kind of advantage.
Getting ready to play their third.
Just 2 shots behind.
Yeah, that's a top little chip shot, that one.
You better believe it is great stuff to watch.
Now let's switch our focus to Colin Morikawa.
He's currently in 2nd place, hoping to overtake the leader.
And after that effort, let's take a look at how it stands. Trailing by a couple of strokes now. The 16th at Riviera Ridge is the last chance to get amongst the birdies on a par 3.
A breathtaking short par 3, 166, an island green surrounded by bunkers.
Not a bad approach. Grab the putter from the caddy. You're dancing. Well, this will be a good putt to hole and a chance for 2nd place.
You could use it with only 2 holes remaining.
Par putt coming up here.
If this putt drops, they'll pull in front of Colin Morikawa. Let's see if they can start applying some pressure.
And as the scorecard suggests, heading up the leaderboard. The last genuine scoring hole at Riviera is certainly this par 5 17th.
Any hopes of getting it home in 2, you better come up with something special off the tee and make sure to avoid the bunker on the right-hand side.
Wonderfully played. Sitting at 1 over in a share of 2nd spot. That was wonderfully done.
This putt really needs to drop for him.
One of the good guys out there, Luke. I am hoping for this one to fall.
That's inside the range. He's currently sitting in 2nd. One of the most famous finishing holes on the PGA Tour, Rich. This 18th at Riviera is a classic.
Aim for the palm trees in the distance, which are located just on the left-hand side of the green. A good tee shot there will set up an awesome looking second.
From around 180 yards out. He's 2 shots back.
Going with the 6-iron here. This one might need to set. It's a little wayward.
Airmailed the green with that approach.
No green in reg, but a chance to save their par. Well, that's an impressive little chip.
Yes, very smooth tempo there on that chip.
And that will conclude his tournament to date. Well, Rich, we had high expectations for this player early, but sadly, no win in the end.
No, they just couldn't quite get their game going in the final round. Unfortunately, comes up a little bit short, but what can I say? Another solid performance.
Well, on behalf of myself, Luke Elvey, and Rich Beem, thanks for tuning in. Catch you tomorrow.
2K Sports, in association with the PGA Tour, proudly presents the season-long race for the FedEx Cup. Today's coverage of the Northern Shore Open is about to begin. I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beam in the booth, and out on the course following our feature group is the delightful Henny Koyak. Hello, Henny.
Hi Luke, I am very pleased to be covering this particular featured group because there's a fresh rivalry developing. I smell rivalry in the air. It's going to provide some great entertainment to both the spectators and us this week.
Well, this week, Henny, it looks like they're intending to beat the big-hitting Brooke Henderson. She might be a kind Canadian, but certainly a fierce rival.
Yeah, she's not going to say sorry. Just make sure you don't look in her trophy cabinet beforehand because you might get intimidated. There's some big major championships in there. Brooke Henderson, speaking of big, hits it big, got big game, and is just so lovely on top of it all. I almost don't want her to be beaten.
Yes, she's a born winner, isn't she, Brooke Henderson? This is going to be a tough rivalry, but one if you can win will certainly build your confidence. Oh, what a lovely shot. He'll be delighted to be inside the range there. What's in front of them, Henny?
Yeah, 15 feet out. He's been staring this one down. This is their look at birdie.
Job done. Let's head to the next. Now let's hear from our on-course reporter, John McCarthy, who I see is just rolling up his beach towel. Been striding the fairways here in Florida for the last couple of days leading up to the event. John, what's the Emery Beach Club all about?
Well, Luke, one thing it's about is it's about water. Water hazards will feature prominently on this course this week. The greens also very undulating. There are ridges, there are shelves, there are tiers. I hope the players have done their homework this week because these approach shots into these greens they're always important, but especially so here at Emery Beach. Several holes feature one of Beamer's nemesis, the tiny bunker. The tiny bunker is in play this week, so you got to be careful off the tee as they seem to pop out where you least expect them. Beautiful Florida course, though. I will enjoy the scenery, and I hope the players will enjoy the challenge of Emery Beach Club this week.
And at the end of that hole, he's gone into clear outright leader. Teeing off here at the fourth.
Luke, coming off a birdie at the last hole, this player finally is making something happen. Looking forward to the next hole, but danger lurks if they're not careful.
Oh, well played. And Henny, what are you seeing down there?
He's looking at perhaps 175, I'd say.
Needs a little members bounce to the right.
He's found the surface. Good chance here.
Looking for back-to-back birdies here, Luke.
A chance to move to a couple under the card with this putt.
This for back-to-back birdies.
Ouch, that hurts.
Well, it's a bit disappointing.
You know, Luke Donald once made all 400-plus attempts inside 3 feet on the PGA Tour.
And this one will be for bogey. And now over to Brooke Henderson's next shot.
It's been a little up and down, but she's just one stroke back from her rival.
So after that effort, this is what the leaderboard looks like. Our current leader is enjoying a one-shot lead. The fifth hole here at Emery Beach Golf Club is a 172-yard par 3 from the back tees. Rich, what are your thoughts?
Luke, the water on the left-hand side really is just there for decoration. Doesn't come into play. The difficult part, though, is this green sits well above the fairway there on the left-hand side. Most players are going to be bailing out, not wanting to go in that bunker to the right, but you miss it out to the left. You got a really challenging up and down.
Well, Rich, think they can make this one?
Luke, I really don't think this is going to happen, but you know what? I've been wrong before, and it could happen again.
Big putt for par coming up.
That gets the job done.
And that par ensures he'll stay right there at even par. We have a par 5 here. Time to take advantage. And after that par, they're looking for something good here. This one might just sneak off the fairway. Time for the second shot here at the 6th. Well, that was a good strike. It was pretty well played out of the fairway bunker. Rich, Canadian golf has had a number of people to be able to hang their hat on over the years. Obviously, most recent on the men's side, Mike Weir is a major winner. But the impact that Brooke Henderson has had on the game seems to have been even more significant.
It has been, and she doesn't carry the mantle just for women's golf in Canada. She carries the mantle for Canadian golf in general. She's such an amazing, delightful young lady to be around. Her personality is infectious. She's just a good soul. And she carries that around to the golf course. I mean, two-time major winner. But what I'm impressed about most with her game, Luke, is the fact that, you know, she is such a long hitter in the game. You don't quite see too many women in the game right now that they don't talk about hitting it long like we do in the men's game. But make no bones about it, she hits it a long way out there. That gives her a massive advantage over some of the other players, and that's why she is such a prolific winner on the LPGA.
Currently at +1 for the day. Teeing off here at the 7th. Good looking shot this. What kind of shot are they facing here, Henny?
And from about 105 yards. Wow, very aggressive play on this approach, putting some pressure on their rival Brooke Henderson.
That was a gallant attempt. Looks like a pretty straightforward 5-footer to me.
Nice little par putt here.
In the end, that will be a disappointing par after such a great approach shot. And just keeping it in neutral on the leaderboard. Let's see what happens here at the 8th. Looks to be going with a hybrid here. That wasn't their best approach, Beamer.
What's a strange miss there, Luke? They've been hitting the greens all day long.
Opting for the hybrid, I think. This would be a great up and down. Ooh, that almost went down. And this one is for his par. And there it is. Currently has a share of second place. We've reached the 9th hole. Time to tee off. Nicely done. Sitting at +1. Currently tied for second. Hope it gets a good kick to the left. And this player is really going after it here, Rich.
Always like the aggressive play, going for it in 2 and get rewarded for it.
Okay, let's get back to the action. What are we looking at for this putt, Henny?
He's got to be careful this doesn't get away from him here. This is downhill.
Oh, just missed. And this putt to move into a tie for first place. Oh, terrific. What an effort.
And now we find ourselves with a par 4 here.
Awesome stuff.
Even for the day.
Currently tied atop the leaderboard.
Well played, mate. This putt from around 18 feet.
Looking for another birdie here.
Not sure if they understood the lie of the land there, Rich. That's a good sign of a player's character, Rich. Still managed to make something out of the hole.
In the bunker with their tee shot. Nice save indeed.
Teeing off now at the 11th hole. Looks like they've got the 5-wood.
And he's hit that inside the range. What do we catch up with Brooke Henderson?
Yeah, she's down, she's behind, her rivals scooting ahead. Let's see what happens.
Well, Rich, from where I'm sitting, this looks makeable. Do you agree?
Luke, I just don't see this happening. I tell you, I'd love to see this player prove me wrong, though.
Just didn't drop.
An opportunity to make a par here. Ooh. Just a short putt remaining here. Well, the leader giving a little hope for the rest of the field there as they put down a bogey on the scorecard.
Here we are, Rich, on the 12th tee at Emery Beach. And this par 5 is at 550 from the back tees.
And what a hole this is. Bunker down the right-hand side comes into play if you really mishit it. But the one right in the center, that little zit, I tell you what, that is going to make some players angry. I can promise you that. If you avoid all that, second shot, fairly straightforward. Anything bailing out to the right is going to lead to a really simple pitch shot for your up and down birdie.
Oh, I like the courage here, Rich, getting after this par 5 in 2.
As they should. What a play. Hopefully they'll be rewarded for that play.
Just taking a look at this one, Rich. Do you think it's makeable?
Luke, I gotta say, I don't like their chances. I have been wrong once before, but I really can't remember when that was.
That's disappointing. 5 feet coming up to the cup.
That's the way to bounce back. Good way to make up for the bogey at the last.
Now leading by 1 shot.
Next up is this par 4 hole.
Second shot here on the 13th.
An opportunity for a birdie here.
Like the look of this one. Ooh, right by the hole. It's just about 3 feet away.
This is what they have left for par here.
And after that hole, leading Justin Thomas by a stroke. All right, getting into our final stretch. Time to tee off here at the 14th. That's heading for the fairway. Playing from around 230 yards.
Wind moving the golf ball left to right.
Going with the 5-wood.
This needs just a little work to the left-hand side.
That was a bit of a miscue.
Yeah, Wind took that one offline in a hurry.
Getting ready to play their 3rd.
He leads the field by a stroke.
Oh, wouldn't that have been nice? Oh, this would be a good one to make. It's for par.
And now over to Brooke Henderson's next shot.
She got one back on that last hole.
So after that effort, this is the current standings on the course.
And a quick glimpse of the leaderboard, and they're currently first, with Justin Thomas second.
We've arrived at a par 4.
Not really what they were hoping for there.
Eddie, that ball seems to be sitting down. Is it bad?
They've got to use all the bounce and strength that they can muster. This is sitting down.
You like that, didn't you? Chance to get one under the card with this putt. Oh, so close. 4 feet to the cup. Oh, gee, that line was looking good, wasn't it? Putting for bogey. And the putt drops, now 1 over, heading down the stretch.
Hang on to your hat, folks. We're on for a wild ride.
We have a par 3 on this one.
Yeah, that was great wind management there.
What do we catch up with Brooke Henderson?
She's trying to pull ahead in this group rivalry. Let's see what happens.
Always nice to have a birdie putt.
Rolling end over end. This putt's looking great.
A bit long on that one. That was a top-level approach shot, but unfortunately they walk off the green with a par. Emery Beach Golf Club is another one of these courses, Rich, that has a short par 4 at 17th.
It does. As you can see, massive bunker down the left-hand side, so players really want to bail out to the right and leave themselves with just a nice, short little pitch shot. Only the brave and the longest are really going to want to challenge this green. A great opportunity for one final birdie.
Oh, absolutely flushed.
And now over to Brooke Henderson's next shot.
She had a bad previous hole, came off with bogey.
Let's catch up with the current proceedings. Good chance to move to even par if they can make this putt. It was on a good line. There's a putt of about 6 feet coming up. That was a gallant attempt. This next putt is for bogey. Just 1 off the lead after that hole. And after a bogey at the last, they're looking for a big drive on this hole. You're going to put your foot down. This is as good a time as any. This shot coming from around 220 yards. 1 stroke off the lead. Opting for the 5-wood. Not able to find the green in 2, but a bold play.
Lots of greens in regulation today for this player, but not so on this occasion.
Didn't that look good for a long time?
Well, this is it. They need this putt to force a playoff.
Okay, steady now.
It's unfortunate, Luke. I can only imagine what is going through this player's head right now. Disappointing, to say the least.
And that'll be all she wrote today. Well played. Well, that's a shame, Rich. You never like to see that, gifting a small lead down the stretch.
It's a difficult pill to swallow, but I think the player will look back on this tournament and realize that when they're in a position to win, they can't afford to make the mistakes that they did.
I'm Luke Elvey, alongside Rich Beam, and on behalf of all the hard-working folks at HB Studios, it's goodbye for now.